This is the Audi Urbansphere. The first thing you need to know is that it's absolutely massive. It looks like Audi's version of a Tesla Model X, but it's supposed to be a futuristic city car. Audi actually reckons we'll be all commuting in cars like this in the future. Really? Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the Audi Urbansphere. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss one of these news videos. Buy, sell,
car, wow.
You might think the Audi Urbansphere sounds pretty familiar. That's because it's the third Audi concept car with sphere in its name. The first was the electric Skysphere, which was a two-seater roadster that could change shape depending on the driving mode you chose. Then there was the Grand Sphere, which was a four-seat electric GT car. It looked a bit like a futuristic combination of the Audi A7 and an e-tron GT. The new Urbansphere is totally different from those cars. It's a massive, luxurious SUV, but it's not designed to go off-road. Its sole purpose is to cruise around futuristic megacities. Now, these concepts do look very, very different. However, they share one very important thing, which I'll come to a little bit later in this video. Anyhow, the Audi Urbansphere is the biggest car Audi has ever made. It's over 5.5 meters long and more than 2 meters wide. That's longer than an A8. Wider than an RS6 and taller than a Q7. It's absolutely huge. Audi has made sure it doesn't just look like a boring box on wheels though. It has a blanked off grille like other electric Audis. But the vertical bars are made of LEDs instead of metal looking plastic trims. These lights stretch all the way across the front bumper and you can play animations when you lock the car and when you use the turn signals. It's a bit trickier to disguise the car's massive size in profile. So Audi's given the Urbansphere split two-piece windows with brushed metal trim that makes the roofline look lower than it really is. There aren't any creases or intakes down the sides, but you do get a set of massive 24-inch alloy wheels. Be careful not to curb those when you're parking, eh? The Urbansphere borrows a few features from the Grand Sphere concept at the back, like the two separate diffusers, but it also has a full-width LED light cluster like the Skysphere Roadster. But which of these Audi concept cars do you think looks the best? I've put a poll in the pinned comment for you to vote upon. Let me know. Audi said it designed the Urbansphere from the inside out. No, that doesn't mean you sit on the roof and the wheels are on the inside. It just means that Audi did everything it could to make the interior as roomy as possible. It started by pushing the front and rear wheels as far apart as it could. There's almost enough space between them to park a Volkswagen up. Audi also got rid of the pillar between the car's doors and added a light that projects a red carpet on the ground in front of the car. And to complete the film premiere look, the rear doors open backwards like on a Rolls-Royce. Something else Audi has borrowed from Rolls-Royce are the removable umbrellas in the doors, although I reckon the Audi brollies are even fancier because they light up at night. Anyway, back to the car itself. Even though the Urbansphere is bigger than most minibuses, it only has 4 seats, so there's absolutely loads of room for everyone inside. But that's not all. The seats swivel round to help you climb in, and they can recline by up to 60 degrees to help you relax. There's even an extendable center console in the back with a built-in water dispenser. The Audi Urbansphere uses lots of mechanical bits borrowed from the Grand Sphere concept. Most importantly, it has the same 120 kilowatt-hour battery and an 800-volt electrical system. This means it's compatible with 270 kilowatt public chargers and can add almost 190 miles of range in just 10 minutes. You can also charge it from 5% to 80% full in under 25 minutes. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, that's just concept car tech. It won't really happen. Well, Audi's planning to use the same chassis tech for the A6 e-tron next year. The Audi Urbansphere doesn't have an infotainment system. No, I'm just kidding. Of course it does. However, instead of a touchscreen like a Tesla Model X or a Mercedes EQS, the Urbansphere has a projector that beams high-resolution graphics onto its wooden dashboard. And you don't control this with buttons either. It has built-in eye tracking to know exactly what you're looking at, and you use gesture controls to swipe through the system's menus. It even comes with face scanning and voice recognition software that can tell if you're feeling stressed. If it reckons you're feeling under pressure, it can recline the seat and deploy a rotating privacy screen from the headrest. But how do you use the infotainment system when you're leaning that far back? Well, the Urbansphere also has physical controls for the climate control on the doors. And if you can't be bothered to reach for these, you can just twist your hand near them and built-in motors will turn the knob for you, just like in the Grand Sphere. If you thought that was cool, wait till you see the backseat technology. The Urbansphere comes with a full-width roof-mounted transparent OLED cinema screen. This might be the coolest feature in the whole car. It lets you watch movies and make video calls from the back seats, and it folds up into the roof when you don't need it. And because it's transparent, it doesn't block any light coming through the Urbansphere's panoramic glass roof. The Audi Urbansphere comes with 2 motors. There's one on each axle, giving it 4-wheel drive. Audi hasn't released any performance figures, but it has said the Urbansphere's motors produce a total of 401 horsepower and 690 newton meters of torque. That's the same power as you get in the new Audi RS3, but almost 200 newton meters more torque. So the Urbansphere should be pretty quick for a massive SUV. If you don't need all that oomph, this is supposed to be a city car after all, the Urbansphere can disconnect its front motor and run in two-wheel drive mode to maximise its range. Speaking of which, the Audi Grand Sphere's 120 kilowatt-hour battery gives it a 466 mile range. That's almost 140 miles further than you can go in a Tesla Model X. And that figure actually is a mix of city, countryside and motorway driving. If you were to just drive the Urbansphere in its natural environment, the city, it will go even further on a single charge. So, time for the cliffhanger that you've been waiting for, or maybe you've forgotten. I'm going to tell you what actually connects the Audi Urbansphere, Skysphere and Grand Sphere concepts, besides their names. Well, they've all been designed to show what cars with level 4 autonomous driving technology could look like in the future. Trouble is, who actually wants their 630 horsepower Skysphere sports car to drive itself? It makes more sense to have some self-driving tech in the 720 horsepower Grand Sphere. It's a big, comfy GT car after all, so we'll spend a lot of time cruising on long motorways. But it's in the Urbansphere where this autonomous tech makes the most sense. It's all about ferrying people around big cities, and nobody likes driving in traffic. But the Urbansphere can do more than just drive you to work. It can also drive itself to a charger, recharge, then come back and pick you up at the end of the day. Okay, so this technology is still some way off, and it wouldn't be legal in every country yet, even if it did exist. But Audi plans to start introducing level 4 autonomy in the second half of the 2020s, so it could happen sooner than you think. The Audi Urbansphere won't just be relaxing to drive in autonomous mode. It should be fairly stress-free if you want to drive yourself instead. It comes with the same adaptive air suspension as the Grand Sphere concept, so it shouldn't have any trouble ironing out massive inner-city potholes. It also comes with a version of that car's rear-wheel steering system to help make it more manoeuvrable, although it's still a huge electric car, so it won't be as easy to park as an Audi A1. Audi isn't planning to put any of its Sphere concepts into production, and that includes the Urbansphere. But it has said some of the technology in these cars could appear in its next-generation electric cars. The first one of these cars will be the Q6 e-tron SUV, which will arrive in 2023, followed by an A6 e-tron saloon that will go on sale soon after. Make sure you subscribe to CarWow to find out more about these cars when they're revealed.
It was a pleasure having you here.
I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you click on those windows there, you can watch some more videos. And if you click on that box there, you can go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.